today's video we are going to talk about how to make notes. How to make notes. As we all know, this note making is a very good habit that we all must apply into our daily lives. This note making is very helpful for our future, for our exams, and it's not so that it is required only in one kind of exam. Whether the student is a university student or a school student, he or she must apply this habit, must engage in note making all of the time when he studies or she studies. This note making is very helpful for his advanced career, for his betterment in his future. One of the most important criteria of note making is that we must not take notes of the other person. Listen it carefully. We must not take notes of the other person because, for example, there is a student A and there is a student B. Okay, the one who knows everything about, for example, there is a formula NaCl that contains sodium chloride, and in combination it is known as salt. Okay, so when student A knows this, that NaCl is called as salt or sodium chloride, he will not mention this thing in his notes. And the student B, if the student B takes the notes of student A, what will happen? The student is not going to learn about what is NaCl, what is sodium chloride about, and what are the components, what is the chemical reaction of NaCl, what is sodium chloride about, how is salt made. He will never gonna learn all these things. So what mistake that student B has done? What is the mistake of his or her? He has not prepared his notes. This is the only mistake that he haven't done. For example, if he had done his notes, he had done his note making himself, what would be the outcome? That he must be knowing that how is NaCl about, how is this salt made, what is the chemical reaction of this NaCl. So making your notes will be helpful in your further studies, and it is a good habit to involve, to engage in, and this will help you in your future time also. For example, if you haven't done the note making and at the time of exam you are in a stress to read which books. Okay, so if you have prepared your notes in advance, what will happen? That you can engulf, that you can jot down the points and you can learn those points which you have already made in your notes. My tip number 2 to prepare your own notes is that first was that you should prepare your own notes by yourself. And the second point is that you should not use the connective words. For example, you have read a whole lot of paragraph, a whole lot of novel, and you have to prepare your notes. So you don't have to write all the novel or whole of the paragraph. You should write it in a very short way so that after when you will read it at the time of exams, it will memorize you each and everything. And seriously, I have personally experienced this thing that whenever I use guides in the time of exams, because I haven't prepared my notes at that time, and my the marks, that result is too low that I didn't expect it. And when I prepare my notes, the result is good and fine and higher than the result that was before. So it is very helpful to prepare your own note. My third tip is that you can, whenever you can, use those keywords, and you can use diagrams and flowchart to explain it to yourself very easily. You should draw those diagrams and to have some flowcharts of what you have read, because it is very easy to understand a diagram and to understand a flowchart sequence by sequence, and it will be helpful for your future exams. And my last but not the least tip is to revise your own notes periodically. To revise your own notes periodically means that you should revise your notes whenever you are free. not in the time when you are in a stress and you need to give your exams. It's not that much possible that you are in a stress and you will learn all of the things. So you should revise your own notes periodically whenever you are free. So at last, stay happy and be confident. At the time of exams, whenever you are in a stress, whenever you are in a mood that you are not knowing anything, be confident that you have prepared your notes, you have memorized everything. So nothing will gonna happen. Your result will be on a high increase. And be confident and stay happy and write your exams and do prepare your notes in a good way.